Some guns are just too good to be sold, and not only because they're limited, but also because the power and history behind some of the guns make it hard to add any price to them. But let us not waste further time and take a look at 7 guns that you should not sell no matter what. Number 7. Colt Single Action Army Model 1873. Many may know this gun model as SAA. Some other names that it also called by include Peacemaker, M1873, and Model P. The single-action revolver handgun was designed in the year 1872 for the U.S. government to service revolver trials by Colt's patent firearms manufacturing company. It was eventually adopted as the standard-issued pistol of the U.S. Army from the year 1873 to 1892. Over the years that it was being manufactured, its appearance didn't change much, but has been offered in more than 30 different calibers, which were accompanied by the guns coming in different barrel lengths. This model of the Colt has been in high demand, and though its production had to be halted and cancelled twice, its fans kept asking for more to be produced. Most of the fans of this model of the gun included outlaws, ranchers, and lawmen, but as of today, it's only the reenactors and collectors who have this gun in their possession. This gun has been used in quite a few wars, some of which include the American Indian Wars, the Irish War of Independence, Spanish-American War, and even during World War I and World War II. Number 6. Sig Sauer P210. The Sig Sauer P210 is also known as the Sig P210, is a semi-automatic pistol designed and manufactured in Switzerland. It comes with a self-loading feature and was manufactured and sold between years 1948 to 2006. The Swiss police and Swiss Army used this weapon between the years 1949 and 1975, following which it was discontinued. Apart from the Swiss Army and police using this weapon, it was also used by the military of Denmark in 1951. The entire weapon is steel-based and it comes with a chambered construction consisting of a 9x19mm parabellum and 7.65x21mm parabellum. This gun was also used by a lot of individuals in various shooting sports that they would indulge in during their leisure time. This pistol was later on discontinued and was replaced by the Swiss Army designation Pistol 75, which is also known as the Sig Sauer P220. Following the release of this model, the company came out with another model and called it the P210 Legend. As of 2022, Sig Sauer released the P210 Carry, which comes with a chambered pistol consisting of a 9x19 parabellum with a capacity of 8+1. It also has a nitron finish and comes with a modern yet tough look. Number 5. M1 Garand. The M1 Garand, also known as the M1 rifle, is a semi-automatic rifle that's chambered for the .30-06 Springfield cartridge. It comes with a .30 caliber and 8 short clip fed feature and is completely gas-operated. The rifle was used in plenty during the Korean War as well as during World War II as a United States service rifle. This weapon also happens to be the first standard-issue autoloading rifle for the USA. This weapon was a clear replacement for the M1 1903 Springfield. The weapon is 43.6 inches long and comes with a light weight of around 9.5 pounds. The location of the safety catch in any weapon makes a huge difference in its utility. The safety catch of this weapon is located on the front of the trigger guard, which is the perfect place for it to be located at. So when the gun recoils and being used, it doesn't slap into the person's face like many other guns do. The purpose of the manufacture and production of this gun was to facilitate field maintenance. Furthermore, it can be disassembled and assembled in a span of a few seconds, making it quite an efficient device. This weapon has been used in quite a few wars, some of which include the Chinese Civil War, Cuban Revolution, Lebanese Civil War, Vietnam War, Iraq War, and many more. Number 4. Russian Dragonov. The SVD-63, also known as the Russian Dragonov, is a rifle that comes with a wooden handguard. It is semi-automatic and is chambered in 7.62 by 54mm R. This weapon was developed by the Soviet Union, a region that's famous for its weapons designing and manufacturing skills. The weapon was tested between the years 1958 and 1963. The gun was extensively tested and was even made to compete against other contenders. The first set of these guns included 200 of their numbers, and they were manufactured for the purpose of evaluation. From 1964, the weapon was being batch-produced after it was allowed to be manufactured. The gun comes with a barrel breech that's locked through a rotating bolt. The barrel is quite thin and lightweight. It also happens to be chrome-lined so as to avoid any chance of corrosion. The original gun had a birch plywood laminate placed between two-piece handguard. Just like most weapons, this one too can be accessorized. The various accessories that could be added include a blade-type bayonet, a nylon sling, a cleaning kit, a maintenance kit, and a cold weather battery case. Number 3. Russian Sks. The Russian Sks is a semi-automatic rifle that was designed by Sergei Gavrilovich Simonov, a Soviet small arms designer in the year 1945. This weapon was to be used by the Soviet but then was later exported as well. It permanently attached bayonet and hinged magazines separate this weapon from the rest. One issue that this weapon was facing was that it lacked select fire capability. This means that the magazine would only last 10 rounds. Thus, the Soviet armed forces considered the SKS obsolete, following which they introduced the AK-47 sometime in the 1950s. Even though the Soviet armed forces made such a declaration, the internal troops, the Soviet border troops, and the reserve army troops continued to use these magnificent weapons for a few more decades. As for the structure of the weapon, it comes with a wooden stock and a rifle grip across a very conventional layout. It also happens to be gas-operated and functions with the aid of a spring-loaded bolt carrier and a gas piston-operated rod. These components help unlock the cycle, releasing the gas pressure, thus making it functional. Following the Second World War, the weapon was sold to quite a few allies of the Soviet Union, which included China, North Korea, East Germany, and many more. These weapons were then modified and cloned by these allies and were used by them whenever they needed to. Number 2. Colt Detective Special .38 Special. Colt Detective Special 12 series came with quite a few great weapons, one of the best of them being the .38 Special. It came with rubber grips and a shrouded ejector rod. It was carbon steel framed and had a 2-inch or 3-inch barrel. It was one of the first kinds of snub-nose revolvers and was manufactured by the very famous Colt's Manufacturing Company. The company also manufactured a Detective Special, which was a weapon that was used by weapons and came with the feature that it could camouflage the best of abilities amidst the detective's clothes. This weapon came in nickel finishes as well as bright blue finishes. In the later models of the series, stainless steel replaced nickel. The .38 Special was a part of the second series, and this series had weapons that came with a lot of caliber options. The standard length of the barrel on these weapons was 2 inches. The weapon went to sell out pretty well, but in 1995, the sales dropped and the .38 Special, as well as the other weapons in the second series, were discontinued. Number 1. Walther P-38, a 9mm semi-automatic pistol, a service pistol that was used at the beginning of World War II by the Wehrmacht. It was developed by Karl Walther GmbH and was intended to replace the Luger P-08. The Luger P-08 was pretty costly, and affording many of these pistols did not seem like a feasible solution. In the year 1938, the Walther P-38 was accepted for production, and its prototype production started the following year. The P-38 was the first lock-breech pistol to use a DA-SA trigger. The earlier pistols of this kind came with an unlocked blowback design. During the Second World War, the P-38 was produced by 3 separate manufacturers: Walther, Mauser, and Spreewerk. The Walther P-38 went into production from 1939 to 1945, following which it was discontinued. This pistol was used in quite a few wars, including the Algerian War, the Lebanese Civil War, the Iraqi Civil War, and the Vietnam War. And that's all for today. Do drop this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your post notifications. See you soon!